So, nutrition and wellness. It's a self-evident truth, it's axiomatic that nutrition is an integral part of wellness. If you're not eating well, then ultimately you will not be well, and however many years that may take to manifest. But nutrition essentially underpins homeostasis, because what it does is it provides you with the raw materials for your body to maintain and develop its structural and its functional integrity. And this whole business of oneness and, dare I say, innate capacity is something that's near and dear to the ethos of chiropractic. So nutrition is especially important in growth, in development, in aging, and in recovery from injury. So, growth and development, pretty obviously, from infancy through to adulthood. Often overlooked aging. Many of your patients will be in the sort of latter stages of life, but also you'll be dealing with sports people who are recovering from various injuries. And nutrition can, and indeed does, play a very important role in assisting these processes. Lying underneath all of this, however, is the concept of nutritional completeness. And the bad news is really that human diets are nutritionally incomplete. What I mean by that is that no single meal that you eat is nutritionally complete. But rather, what we do is we, through our wonderfully adapted physiology, are able to average out our nutrients over anywhere between 3 to 10 days to make a complete molecular melange of whatever it is we need to build stronger bodies, to aid growth and development, to help us repair our bodies from injury, and so on. If you are getting a nutritionally complete meal 3 times a day, then all I can say is that you probably raided your pet food store, because pet foods in the United Kingdom, and certainly Europe, are indeed nutritionally complete. So every meal that you give your dog, that sort of dry, horrible, smelly kibble, is nutritionally complete. And similarly, the food you give to your cat is nutritionally complete. Although I don't think either of us would really want to eat it 3 times a day. So this whole business of nutritional completeness isn't really a problem when we're in equilibrium, but when we're growing, when we're developing, when we're aging, when we're recovering from injury, then we've got a particular set of nutritional challenges which do need to be met. And that's where supplementation comes in. Because what supplementation do, or what supplements do, what supplementation does, is quite simply, it just fills in the gaps that are an inevitable part of human diets. And by the way, don't tell my dog this. He thinks he's getting really good food, but we really, really, really wouldn't like it. So what nutritional supplements can do is they can give us a more nutritionally complete diet. It'll fill in the gaps. Yeah, it'll put the W into holistic nutrition and hopefully assist those processes of growth, development, recovery from injury, convalescence, and so on. So to this end, Powerlife have a number of nutritionally superb products. And I left AECC 5 years ago. I took early retirement down to health reasons. And I always reckoned that, when I drew stumps, that was going to be it. But this rascal, Paul Baker, has managed to tempt me out of retirement with some really, really, really top-flight products. And that's why I'm happy to sit in front of my computer screen today and to share them with you. Powerlife's products do have a couple of unique selling points, all except Profit, which we'll talk about in a few moments, are provided as powders in sachets, which have to be reconstituted with water. And there's a couple of advantages to this. First of all, it increases their bioavailability. In other words, you're going to take them on board in soluble form. There's none of this waiting for pill to break down in your stomach. There's none of this trying to get it into solution in your intestines. It's there in a soluble form as soon as you drink it down. And secondly, because patient engagement is so important to you, the very fact that your patients are having to constitute this nutritional drink from a powder into a liquid means that you're enhancing their involvement and you're giving them a good sense of involvement and taking part in their well-being, or in the management of their well-being, their recuperation, their recovery, their maintenance program, call it what you will. So, Powerlife product lists: ProCell, Protect, ProLady, ProFit, and ProDetox, all of which are powders, apart from ProFit, which comes in capsule form. The main reason for this is that the active ingredient in ProFit, although being very, very potent indeed and very, very good, actually tastes horrible. So it's best taken in an encapsulated form. Otherwise, you'd never take it on board at all. So without further ado, let's take a look at each one of these in turn. ProCell, this is probably the biggest selling product that Powerlife do. It may well help to regenerate and repair cells, increase blood flow to the brain, reduce blood pressure, cholesterol and blood sugar levels. It may help boost exercise performance, and it may help reduce joint pain and stiffness. And how it does this is with this magnificent set of ingredients here: Nigella sativa, apple extract, grape extract, acai berry, raspberry extract, beetroot extract, pomegranate extract, L-arginine, and stevia. So basically what these plant products do is they provide us with a whole range of antioxidants and phytoestrogens. And students of mine from AACC can remember lecture series from me on phytoestrogens. Anthocyanins, these are very good antioxidants. They'll help to maintain capillary health, they'll reduce capillary fragility. They also have a degree of antimicrobial action and certainly contribute to visual health, as does resveratrol. Resveratrol is probably a healthier alternative to drinking a bottle of red wine a day. I particularly appreciate resveratrol. I've been taking a resveratrol supplement for the past year, initially in forms of capsules that I bought from the local health food shop, and latterly from ProCell. And over that time, I've completely reversed a tendency towards macular degeneration, which is a keen private pilot, is a big, big plus to my world. We also have phytoestrogens. These are these funny plant compounds that mimic the effect of estrogens by binding to estrogen receptors and indeed testosterone receptors, because many disorders in today's society are caused by an overstimulation of these receptors. Phytoestrogens will bind to the receptors. They have very low levels of activity. So what they're doing is they're preventing the receptors being overstimulated, and so they're preventing you from being overstimulated by your own sex steroids. Nigella sativa also provides us with some rather wonderful stuff called thymoquinone, which amongst other things is a proton pump inhibitor. And that's rather good for knocking bacteria on the head. In particular, those nasty little bacteria which would tend to hide themselves away in your stomach and cause you gastric ulceration. Betaine from beetroot, nice methyl group donor, and that more or less completes the picture for ProCell. Very, very good seller, very, very good product indeed, and underpinned by some very, very sound biochemical science. So do feel free to have a look at Powerlife Global's website for a more detailed look at this particular product. Next we have Protect. Helps to defend against Helicobacter pylori, helps to support the immune system to fight off viruses, particularly gut viruses, helps to protect the gut, helps to promote detoxification, and helps to combat inflammation. This it mainly does with a compound called sulforaphane, which is mainly derived from bean sprouts. So, or rather broccoli sprouts. So when your parents always said, you know, eat your greens, they'll do you good, what they should really have been telling you was that they're full of sulforaphane, which, well, sulforaphane, very useful antioxidant, a very useful anti-inflammatory and antibacterial agent. Again, it's got extract of Nigella sativa, so plenty of thymoquinone, which again, proton pump inhibitor, which knocks Helicobacter pylori on the head rather nicely indeed. So Protect, it will help to protect the gut lining. It will help to give you protection against gut-borne viruses, such as enterovirus and similar, so that will reduce the incidence of diarrhea, other such nasties. So yeah, Protect, very, very useful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compound. And again, do please have a look at Powerlife Global's website for further details on this product. Next, we have ProLady. As its name would suggest, ProLady is very much one for the female half of the population. It contains collagen. It contains Labicia pumila extract. It contains stevia and raspberry powder. And it also contains Cachib Fatima, which is probably the most powerful phytoestrogen combined with antioxidant that you'll ever encounter. So because of this, it helps to regulate any sex steroid imbalances in your body, which is particularly important in a sort of perimenopausal setting. The antioxidant will also help to protect joints and bones, and the high collagen content will help to protect, or rather help to revitalize hair, skin, and nails, and also provide useful support to the birth canal after childbirth. Now, if you'd have asked me when I was still at AACC, you know, does a collagen supplement actually have any value, I'd have probably laughed at you. But more recent research demonstrates that indeed it does. And of course, the reason for this is, as you'll remember from our biochemistry lectures, every third residue in collagen is glycine. And if you're on a normal mixed human diet, taking in a reasonable amount of protein, first of all, you're probably slightly protein deficient, but secondly, only every 20th residue in your dietary protein is glycine. And if you want to make collagen to strengthen bones and tendons and ligaments and skin, etc., then you're going to need an awful lot of glycine. And that's where the collagen comes in. So ProLady, yeah, promotes healthy skin, and the phytoestrogens will also help to improve sleep quality and to reduce anxiety levels, all of which has to be a good thing. So those are the three main products associated with Powerlife. There are a couple of more. Pro Detox, which basically is a diuretic and a mild laxative. But as well as being a mild laxative, it does, with its marshmallow content, help to fight gut inflammation by providing a very, very useful mucilage layer in the gut, which in many people with gut problems actually tends to be a bit deficient. So, you know, Pro Detox, potentially useful. And then finally, we have ProFit, something designed for the gentleman. It helps to boost testosterone levels, which in turn will help to boost your sex drive. It helps to improve endocrine balance, and can possibly help tackle erectile dysfunction and improve muscle strength and decrease body fat. How does it actually do this? Well, it does this with an ingredient called tongkat ali, which is Malaysia's secret weapon. It's sometimes called nature's Viagra. It works in an entirely different way to Viagra, which, again, those of you who remember a bit of biochemistry from the AACC days will remember that Viagra is a phosphodiesterase type 5 inhibitor. Right. What tongkat ali does is it helps dissociate sex steroids from sex steroid binding hormone in your plasma. So it doesn't increase your output of testosterone, but what it does is it helps testosterone step off the transport protein that's carrying it around your blood vascular system. And in that way, it helps get testosterone into your muscle cells. It helps get testosterone into your reproductive organs, shall we say, and in so doing, it helps to promote that essential masculinity. So there we have a whistle-stop tour through the major products associated with